What's going on, guys? I am Simple Simon. I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the NOOB Rebirth. I'm here with Mark at Big City Comics. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And today we're going to talk about how to keep a comic shop open, I guess. There's a lot of comic shops that are closing down left, right, and center.
Open, how to keep a comic book shop open.
How to run a successful comic shop, maybe. Are you successful, Mark?
Success comes in many ways, and I'll explain that in this episode. What episode number is it?
It's like 50.
You don't even know, it's your channel.
50. Mate, we've done like 100 of these, really.
You're still a noob. You're still a noob.
Legacy number, we've done over 100.
Oh.
Actually, no, not with you. You joined late. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Legacy number.
Let's do this. Alright, before we start, don't forget, guys, we'd appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, let you know what you think, and subscribe if you're new, you know what I'm saying? All that good YouTube stuff. Mark.
And coffee.
And coffee. So recently, a store here called Incognito Comics. Unfortunately, I've never visited them. I've always wanted to. They look like they were a great shop.
I'll leave a link for them. Like, seriously.
I'll leave a link to their website, absolutely. But recently they posted a message out to their social media saying that, do you mind?
I'm sorry. Jeez.
No,
you work. Because I'm working, you know?
You work and talk. You're going to open in 20 minutes.
You know, I'm working here, I'm working. That's what's part of running a shop. All right? So, is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about. So recently they sent out a message on their social media platform saying that they will no longer be getting in new comic books. Because they've seen a drop in, I guess, sales, and then they all of a sudden put 50% off on all their statues.
I think it was more about the rise of shipping.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah,
the rise of cost.
They did mention that. Yes, I guess all signs point to they're probably going to shut shop, and they want to focus on back issues and comic book accessories.
Well, they never really shut shop. Ever since Melbourne reopened since the pandemic, they haven't reopened their doors.
Yeah, they're just going to go online, strictly online. And they're going to focus on comic book accessories, which are actually very good for.
I mean, good on them. I mean, hey, you know what I always say.
You got to run your business the way you see fit.
Correct.
Master at it. I guess a lot of comic shops have closed down in my short time that I've been into comics. So Classic Comics in the city, Mark, remember them? Classic Comics?
Oh yeah, of course. They were. It's been about 4 years now.
Yeah, and they nah, wasn't that because I've only been in comics for less than 4 years. But there was Classic Comics. Also, Comics R Us had 2 locations. They recently shut down their city location and they've moved into just the 1 location now. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about how hard it is running a comic shop and things like that. So Mark, how long have you been Big City Comics for?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years last Friday.
Congratulations, mate.
Yeah,
Happy birthday to Big City Comics.
I opened my doors on Free Comic Book Day, May 6th.
Oh, really? So the first day was Free Comic Book Day?
2017.
That's a pretty good way that's opening up with a bang.
I give that credit to my sister.
Good work.
Her idea.
Good work. And I wish you guys could have seen the old shop. The old shop was a beautiful shop.
It was more like a boutique. It was like an art gallery.
I just think for videos it would look better. But I do love this shop.
I like this one better. More raw, more grounded, more warehousey type.
One thing I know, and I remember talking about with you, is during lockdown, I did an episode called Behind the Scenes. I think it was before the NOOB Rebirth. I think it was when we were still the new 50 NOOB even. We had a serious conversation.
To me, that's an awesome news. Even though I have to pay money, it's awesome news because it means I'm starting to make money.
And you were talking about business, and you were telling me how for tax now you have to pay money, and you're like, that's a good thing because that means my business is doing well.
That's correct.
And you're like, I never had that previous years. So I guess I want to talk to you a little bit about the early years of having the shop, what it was like. Obviously, you probably put in a lot of your own money and things like that into the business.
Of course, absolutely. All my own money.
What, I guess, changed over the years to now, I guess, I wouldn't say you're mega super successful, but obviously you like slowly climbing up and...
Well, like I said in the intro, success comes in many forms. And if my success, I'm happy. And so that's one successful thing that I've achieved. I get to run or manage my own way. That's another way. I think the key to running a successful comic book store is it's a lot of factors. First thing was location, but that's what I thought, right? And I thought location would help, but it worked against me because the rent was so high in my first shop. Thinking that I would, open in a great location and have people, have a lot of walk-ins and stuff like that, didn't work in that sense.
I must say, I missed the old location. It was by far the closest shop to me.
And it was good because it was central, and even to this day, being in a different location, right? I still have customers from Fitzroy, from the other location, like Simon, of course. I don't regret going there, but because it taught me a massive lesson. But coming here has absolutely been better for my success. Not success, but my going forward. Because what happens is, the money that I was spending in rent, back then I had so much money going towards rent, I had no room to move. Because with comic book stores, you've got so much overhead, right? And so you have to spread your overheads, so then you have money enough, to buy stock and increase your volume of stock. But whereas where I was, I had no room to move financially to do that. By coming here and lessening my rent, I have done that. I've made room. I have room in the budget now, and I have so for 3 years since I've been here to add to my repertoire. Add to my shelf quantities and things like that. That tagline that I use, everyone has to run their business differently. The business gurus always say to you, you have to have a business plan on paper, right? And that's fine, and that's good. It works for some people. For me, being on paper, to me, means that it's concrete and you have to follow it. I wanted that business plan to be fluid because you don't know what could happen. So it was always in my head.
Yeah.
And that business plan was always fluid. And it was always about promotion, and it was always about customer service.
That's a big one. I think
customer service was my number one. And then, promoting, letting people know you're out there, that sort of thing,
There is one thing I must say, right, and don't take offense to it, but you do promote, but I know you've always also said you don't want to promote to the point where it's just like excess.
Correct.
But one of the things I always remember you saying was when you first opened the shop, you didn't want it to be a comic book / hobby shop.
No.
You wanted the comic books to be the star. And you would have a few you've got a few statues and toys, but not many.
But they come with that.
Yeah, and I feel like that obviously is hard because I think these days for the general public, the mainstream, they're more into the statues and the toys than they are the comic books, right?
Yeah, not the statues as much, but more action figures and the pops, the Funko stuff.
But you hate pops.
No
more pops.
I don't hate them. I just don't. It's no point in me getting them
when you can get them anywhere.
When you can get them anywhere now, they're not a specialty store product anymore.
Yeah. I guess so. What is some of the things that you do that I guess, as an example, what were some of the things that you came up with in your head that I need to do this to keep my doors open? So one of them is, I know, and I've explained it many times, you don't overorder.
No.
You don't order too much for your shelf.
No.
Did you start ordering a lot when you first opened up, and then you realised, oh wait, I can't clear this inventory?
Absolutely, yeah, you have to. I opened the store, I didn't have no back issues, didn't have no back inventory, so you had to order for the shelf, hoping, and plus I was opening for a free comic book day, so I had to have enough for that. You have to look at the market, and you have to look at what's selling and what's not, and being that I'm the only person who takes care of ordering and all that, I know what sells and what doesn't sell, what moves and what doesn't move, and you always keep an eye on that.
Was there any things that you saw before you had a shop that I guess you didn't want to do?
Tell you what I wanted not to do, bad customer service. I have experienced every bad customer service out there in comic book stores, in retail in general, yes. So one thing that I wanted to do, my core business plan was customer service.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant thing because, and I don't want to say that no comic shops have good customer service. I mean, Secret Headquarters, I've got to give them a shout out because they are fantastic.
Make sure you leave a link.
Yeah, well, Secret Headquarters, absolutely. They are a fantastic store. I've only been there twice, but the experience that I get there, okay, let's give you an example, right? Free Comic Book Day just happened, and I always go on about how Mark will just let you take one of every book if you want, right? So this is how some of the other stores did. So I have a friend of mine whose local comic shop that he shops regularly at, who gets his pull list from, is a store that I hate called Alternate World, right? So he said he went there on Free Comic Book Day.
I didn't know. Tell me. I'd love to know. Yeah. Go.
He went there on Free Comic Book Day, and he said they had about 12 titles to choose from left. He said two things. He said, A, I went to pick up my Star Wars Obi-Wan books, which I had pre-ordered every variant for, and they said, sorry, we don't have those books for you, and we cannot get them for you. So that's first, right? Sorry to name and shame, but I've been naming and shaming him for a while.
But he pre-ordered them.
Yeah,
Through
so
who?
they were like,
Through Toolbox,
no,
or?
through them directly.
Okay.
They haven't had it down, so they're like, oh, sorry, I don't know what happened, but yeah, we don't have the books, right? So he's super mega pissed off about that. So I said to him, what were they doing for Free Comic Book Day? He said to me that they were doing one free comic book title for every $10 that you spend. So he was like, fuck this. And he drove out to secret headquarters, right? He goes, they were chockers. He had 15 minutes, he had to wait in line to get in there, right? And like I said, secret headquarters, their customer service is up there. He went in there, they got sketches, they had artists to do free sketches and stuff.
I've heard about some store doing sketches, but I didn't know who
so
it
they were
was.
doing free sketches and things. And he said that they were giving out 3 books for free, absolutely free. But if you were spending money, then you could basically just choose other things as well.
That's a good compromise.
Absolutely. Yeah, most of the shops you go to, I find they don't really talk to you. You can talk to them. If you talk to them, that's fine. They can talk to you all day about comic books and stuff like that. But in most cases, you go in there and they don't really approach you. While when you come in here and to Secret HQ, they'll always greet you at the door. They're very friendly. I know you always, every time you see a new customer come in, you lock onto them. You know, a lot of people will just like leave me alone.
It's called acknowledgement.
Yeah.
You don't have to give conversation. You just have to acknowledge them.
And you've learnt that from sales, obviously.
Absolutely.
People get approached, do you want to help? And you just like leave me the F alone, right? I just want to look, right? But Mark will always do that 180, which we learnt in sales, to go back and just double check on them again, just giving them reassurance,
Absolutely.
Like don't be scared, I'm here for you. Sort of thing. And Mark, definitely holds that up high. And I know a lot of your customers now that I've dragged over from, becoming friends with people, them seeing this show, they shop at other shops, but they want to give you business too. And I think it's because of that.
But I don't have a blanket policy either. My blanket policy is not a blanket. Like I don't cover every customer with one policy. Every customer shops different, reads different, collects different. So every customer is different. So you have to adjust your customer service and your policies to that customer. So that like a customer like Simon here, he's different from say, another customer. So, I treat them different, not in a bad way, but some of them, you got to be careful because some of them tend to take advantage of your goodwill, and that's fine. You can take advantage, that's on you, not on me. I'm still going to give you the same service, but you just got to always have to be aware of that. Whereas Simon never takes advantage. He's a really great bloke. Everyone says that. And that's why me and him work together, because we think alike.
And I still remember when I first walked into Big City Comics and Mark gave me the up and down. I was like, I've never seen this guy before. Asking me the questions, and I was like, dude, leave me alone. And then I would go there every week because you were very unique with the only person that put new releases out the second you open your doors. I would come to you every week, and then you would just keep chatting to me, and then we end up becoming besties.
So that's one thing. Like customer service is the best thing, and then the other thing with a comic book store, you got to try and cut costs where you can, because the profit margin, I'm not here to get rich. I've said that before. I'm just here to be happy, right, and have fun.
Because put it this way, I'm sure all comic book collectors and things have dreamt about owning their own comic shop, right? And you went and did it.
Yeah, and I don't want to be but the thing is, I don't want to become jaded either by the industry, because the industry can jade you, right? And I know the day that happens to me, I know it's time to give it up. So what I try and do is try and minimize my overheads. So recently I changed freight carriers. So that's one way. It's either I went above and beyond and changed freight carriers, because the freight carrier I was using was just it was just too expensive. And again, that's why probably Incognito, which we're using the same one I was, right?
They pulled the plug.
Yeah, they pulled the plug. Whereas instead of pulling the plug, I went looking for somewhere else a little bit more cheaper. Because it was either that or raise my prices. Push that thing onto my customers. And if there was a cheaper way or an easier way I can do that, I did a little bit more work. It was a little bit harder. but I did it, and I don't have to raise my prices. You know, so I'm happy about that, and I'm sure my customers are happy about that.
Alright guys, that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We would appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know the good and bad experiences that you guys have had with LCS shops. And I know I bashed, a couple of shops, and I don't mean any harm to that. I mean, I don't wish bad upon those stores, because at the end of the day, you have to run your business the way that you see.
See, I'm teaching. See, that's all I'm doing.
So if you guys want to be a dick, then be a dick. But until next time, say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
And keep it simple.